The Tamron 70-180 2.8 lens. We have it covered in this video. A mix of shooting the lens with a full-frame camera and on a crop sensor APS-C camera. And stick around for the second half because we dive into Sony's Clear Image Zoom with the Tamron 70-180 to get you all the way out to 540mm. That's right, 540mm with this lens. Even if you're a Nikon, Canon, or Fuji shooter, you should learn about Clear Image Zoom and what you can do. So here's the Tamron 70-180 2.8 lens, mounted on a full-frame Sony A9 III global shutter. I've used this setup for shooting weddings and portraits, so we'll see a lot of sample images from this setup. Now here's the Tamron 70-180 2.8 lens mounted on a Sony APS-C camera, the Sony A6700. I've used this setup for shooting a little bit of everything around town, including even going to a Mardi Gras parade. And with APS-C Sony on the A6700, that's what I'm really going to show you about the Clear Image Zoom feature. It doubles your zoom, so you can get all the way out to 540mm. Yes, you heard that right, 540mm with this zoom lens at 2.8. So let's get started and get right into the photos. Now as we get into the images, I want to point out over to the right, you will see the shooting information, the f-stop, shutter speed, focal length, ISO, and so on, so you can keep track when you're looking at the photos. These are some family beach portrait photos that we've shot with the Tamron 70-180 2.8 lens. We're using the Sony A9 III global shutter here, so when you're looking over to the right, many times you will see very high shutter speeds, even though we were using flash, because that's one of the advantages of using the Sony A9 III is with the global shutter, you can flash sync at very high shutter speeds, like 1250th of a second. So as we get into more photos, you're going to see a mixture of some natural light shot photos mixed in with some flash photography photos. Anytime you see flash photography photos, we were using a Godox AD200 flash off camera with the global shutter camera using the higher shutter speeds. Like right there, that actually is with flash at 800th of a second. Okay, let's stop real quick. You got to like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button down below. It only takes a second. Help us get this channel moving forward. Now let's get back to the photos. Now coming up later in the second half of the video, I'm going to put the Tamron 70-180 2.8 lens on a Sony A6700 camera, and that gives you a whole different type of cropping. You get better zoom range with the Tamron lens, but we're also going to go into using what's called Clear Image Zoom. If you're a Nikon shooter, Fuji, or Canon, you've probably never heard of Clear Image Zoom, but on Sony, you could put the camera into this special mode, and it actually doubles your zoom range. So when you put the Tamron on a crop sensor camera, like the Sony A6700 we're going to be doing, I can actually reach out to 540mm. And we're going to show a lot of examples of that. And it's just really fantastic what you can do. So anyways, here's some more photos. I'm going to throw a little bit of music on here. A song I wrote, created with AI, of course, about the Tamron 70-180 2.8 lens. So enjoy the music and enjoy the photos. And I'll be back in a little bit when I put the Tamron 70-180 on the crop sensor Sony A6700, and then we'll start playing around with that Clear Image Zoom. You don't want to miss that.
I have a Tamron 70-180 2.8 lens. It's a mid-zoom and a really good zoom. I can shoot at 180 and get the good shot. Zoom in and click the button and grab the shot. The Tamron 70-180. The Tamron 70-180. The Tamron for the win. When I'm not shooting, I like to have a zoom. I can zoom in and get to face expression. To go from 70 to 180. I got the zoom covered. I am running and a gunning and shooting with my zoom. The Tamron 70 to 180. The Tamron 70 to 180. The Tamron for the win. Click, click, gonna grab the photo. Click, click, and I got the shot. Click, click, shoot, shoot a photo. Grab the camera body and get it done. The Tamron 70 to 180. The Tamron 70 to 180. The Tamron for the win. Charge up the batteries and pack the bag. Let's format the card and ready to shoot. Park the car and find the right spot. Find the right subject. And zoom, zoom in. Gotta love the Tamron lens. Sharp images, good contrast. Shoot it raw or shoot it JPEG. The Tamron rocks, solid image.
So now we saw a lot of photos shot with the Tamron 70 to 180 2.8 lens from different portrait sessions and weddings we've done. Now we're going to move on to shooting with the Sony A6700 crop sensor camera using the Tamron lens. But first, let's see what the different zoom ranges are when you put the Tamron lens on a crop sensor camera. Here's a diagram showing you the kind of zoom you get at the zoom end. On full frame, you're at 180mm. On APS-C, it's 270, but when you turn Clear Image Zoom on, you get all the way out to 540mm. To use Clear Image Zoom, you need to shoot in JPEG mode only. Here I'm going to show I'm in RAW, but when you're in RAW, you'll see it will not allow you to engage Clear Image Zoom. I have my back dial set on the left side so I can go into the shooting settings. Now I'm going to change it to JPEG. Now I can press the right side and it engages the Clear Image Zoom. You can see I can zoom in and out. I'm going to take a couple pictures just by pressing the right or left side. 105mm, that's what the 70mm is. 270, that's what your 180 is. 270 is what it is on a crop sensor camera. And then the 540mm, that's what you get when you're on a crop sensor camera and you engage the Clear Image Zoom and you zoom all the way in. I'm going to show here I can also zoom in. Instead of pressing the button, I can just rotate the dial like that and zoom in real quick. Zoom in, zoom out, just like that. Also, you have your front dial on the A6700, and I have that set so I could also zoom in and out using the front dial. I'm going to do that next here. See, I'm zooming in, out, zooming in. So you can zoom in and out very easily just using your front dial. But you can also put your camera in video mode, and Clear Image Zoom works excellent. You can shoot full 4K video and zoom in with Clear Image Zoom, and you can see by holding down my button in the back that I have it set to, it smoothly zooms in or smoothly zooms out. It's like having a camcorder with a camcorder button giving you that full zoom, but you can also ratchet it in real fast, but if you're shooting video, you want it to be nice and smooth. So it's like giving you that camcorder smoothness at full 4K video. So it works excellent on video as well, giving you that full 540mm zoom range. Now let's see some photos. I'm going to start at the wide end. This is 70mm on the Tamron lens. Now we're going to zoom to 180, which is actually 270 on a crop sensor camera. Then we're going to zoom to Clear Image Zoom. This is 540mm. Okay, once again, this is 180. Then we're going to zoom with Clear Image Zoom. So every time you see the Clear Image Zoom 540mm text on the screen, that tells you that was zoomed in. Here's your standard 180. Turn Clear Image Zoom. boom. Do you see any image loss there? No, there really isn't any. This is quite fantastic. Look at the detail you get. A lot of people say, oh, it's like cropping in, but it's not. That's a fantastic, sharp, detailed image at 540 millimeter. Look at the eyes of that bird. I was just amazed when I brought it home and looked at that both them eyes were in focus. This bird's way up on a pole. 540 millimeter. Now I'm shooting across a canal. I'm way on the other side of the canal shooting this house and this dock to show these examples of what you can do with Clear Image Zoom. Now here's a building. I'm way far away. Now I'm going to zoom in at Clear Image Zoom. Boom. Clear Image Zoom, 540 millimeters. Now this helicopter at 540 millimeters just flying by, I was able to grab. Now here's some plants using Clear Image Zoom. Yes, that works. Nice, sharp, detailed images. This is much better than cropping in. Some people say, oh, Clear Image Zoom is like cropping in. I could crop in and get the same thing. But that's not true, because when you're using Clear Image Zoom, it's not cropping in. If you crop in your image, you're actually cutting half of your image out. Clear Image Zoom, you still have the full image. Now, these are some regular shots. You don't see the Clear Image Zoom logo on here. There's one. Now, what we're going into now, this was a running race, a local event here in town, Clear Image Zoom. So I'm going to have a lot of runners running around. I'm way far back waiting for this race to start. And now the people are actually running towards me, and I'm locking focus on them. Even in Clear Image Zoom, you don't have the advanced focusing system, but anything that basically fills the frame, it locks focus on no problem. As you can see, these people are moving. Some of them are running. Well, I say moving, they are running. They're running. This is a running race. Some are running a little bit faster than others. And these people right here, they're way across the street from me. I'm using 540 millimeter. This is way far away. And they're running, and there's isolating them, picking them up, getting them in focus. Nothing but good things to say about Clear Image Zoom. Most people don't even realize this exists. Here's a wide shot at 180. Now I'm going to zoom in to show the difference. And there with Clear Image Zoom, you get that 540 millimeter zoom going. Here's another at the 180, which is actually 270. And then we're going to zoom in with Clear Image Zoom, 540. It doubles your zoom range. Here's another one, 180. We're going to zoom in. There's 540, just doubled my zoom range. This is at a Mardi Gras parade in Gulf Shores, Alabama. Another Clear Image Zoom. Now we're going to have Miss Alabama. She was at the parade. This was in Gulf Shores, Alabama. I thought this was a great place to take the lens out and show the advantages of using Clear Image Zoom. Here's a wide shot. This was the 180, which is 270 on the APS-C camera. And boom, we're at 540. Just doubled my zoom by pressing my back button and zooming in. Some more Clear Image Zoom shots. So anyways, that's my Clear Image Zoom display using the Tamron 70-180 2.8 lens on the Sony A6700. I think it's a fantastic option that a lot of people actually don't know about and definitely don't use. Even Sony users, I don't think they realize what they're missing out on. They spend a fortune on zoom lenses when they could be just using a lens like this and get much better light gathering. So that's my Tamron 70-180 2.8 lens on my Sony A6700. So that's my overview and review of the Tamron 70-180 2.8 lens. As you can see, I've used this lens a lot for different things, and I really enjoy using this lens. I'm going to keep this lens because I love putting it on my Sony A6700 and being able to put it into that Clear Image Zoom and reach all the way out to 540 millimeter with a 2.8 lens. It basically gives me the equivalent of a full-frame 540 millimeter f4 lens. To me, this is much better than using, say, a 500 millimeter lens that is a 6.3 lens, because I get much better light gathering ability with this lens in a smaller and lighter setup. And of course, I could also use it on both my full-frame camera or my crop sensor camera based on whatever my needs are. So what do you think? Is this the lens you'll be buying? Or are you still thinking about maybe buying it? Maybe my video helped you out. I hope so. I really like the lens. To me, the lens is very sharp, has great contrast, and it's a great all-around lens. I have nothing bad to say about it, except if you're shooting in a very dusty environment like motocross with lots of dust flying in the air, it is an external zoom in and out, so it could maybe suck in a little bit of dust. So you might be a little bit more careful in that type of environment. But as you can see, I've been using it for weddings and portraits and a little bit of everything. I'm very happy with it. I would definitely recommend this lens. It's a keeper for me. So that's my Tamron 70-180 2.8 lens review. I hope you liked the video and learned something from it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel. I have a lot more videos on the way. So I'll see you next time. So here's some Tamron lens music for you to enjoy on the way out.
The Tamron 70-180